Good morning. Good morning. Righty. Getting bits ready to grind away at some epoxy. Leave these out just in case. Maybe talk to Peter about those. Years ago, I picked up an ashtray for fuck knows what reason. They do make pretty cool things to put stuff like this in. May actually relocate some brushes in there. We'll see. Hey, Nick, good morning. We shall see. We shall see. Getting ready to travel in a little bit. Gonna go on vacation. And y'all are gonna come with me. Hopefully. It dawned on me that well, I'm bringing this laptop with me anyway, but I wasn't planning on using it for live streaming. However, given the reason why I switched over the laptop was because my phone was decided just not to work well with YouTube. I may be streaming from, I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming from a phone while we're there, or if I'm going to be streaming from the laptop. And it really comes down to what's available to me and what works. We shall see. Anyway, happy Saturday, Nick. Happy Saturday to you. Hope you got a little bit of rest last night. Sounds like you had a pretty long ass week. Can you believe it? They're making us work, man. Yeah. Well, not to the same degree. My week was kind of like that as well. It was a little busier than normal, but yeah, I crashed out at it. Yeah. Not a surprise, brother. Not a surprise. Well, hopefully you don't have to work over the weekend. No weekend work. Those are rare. That's good. I know I've seen it happen on a few occasions. Given your work week this week, I hope this is one of those times where it definitely does not have to happen. So I'm happy to hear that. So we're just about packed up. We got all clothes ready and everything like that. I got models selected. I got coffee ready already. It's almost like a regular work day. Wrap this up by 7 o'clock and we're out the door at 8. Out the door at 8. Are they all new kits or already started kits? 2 are new, and 1 was started. I almost, and I had some considerations about, hey, maybe I'll build like another one of those, original 1/144 scale Gundams, but I like the way that process worked here, but that means I need my full bench and shit, more CA and plastic and epoxy. I don't want to do that on the road. But I'll be snapping together, or assembling, I should say, a couple of kits. Depends on which one kind of strikes my fancy. Hey, Joe. Thank God for the weekend. Amen. It's interesting when we think about, labor laws, just over 100 years ago. Think about, was it 6 days a week and minimum 10 hours? Bathroom breaks were scoffed at, stuff like that. Oh, how far we've come and how far we want to go back to where we were. Crazy. Anyway, Joe, happy Saturday to you as well. Be right there, guys. Sorry. But after, so I stopped college in 88. I started in college in 84. I completed the majority of my studies in 88, but I was 2 classes short because I was a fuck up. I finally got my degree in 93. I was, in the meantime, I'd actually worked at the university that I was, a student at. So I was able to take a few classes along the way hey, Edwin, good evening. I was able to take classes along the way to both complete my degree, and they were free, which is great. Boy, different times. So anyway, but the classes I took along were not only classes specific to my field, but also just, at that point I was, where I worked, we were a union shop. So I was able to get invested into labor history. And I took a couple of labor classes. It was fun to read some of that history. Fun and not fun at the same time, right? Anyway. And by not fun, just, you hear about, how labor unions were treated. And, we can all take comfort in knowing we've gone a long way from there and we are trying to head right back to it. Crazy. Anyway, anybody got anything special planned for the weekend? Big Talk is dropping the work week to 7 hours. 10-hour days now with an hour lunch. Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of conversations happening, both in terms of, how much you're getting paid and, labor rate, as well as hours. I remember years ago hearing a very persuasive argument on moving to the 32-hour work week, particularly as automation creeps in further and our population is still pretty high. They'll probably be just grinding away at this. I didn't really have any plans. I mean, this model is kind of at a standstill until I can get a few more of the Zaku heads, which I gotta find. You know what? Oh, you know where I might look? I'm trying to think if the RV kits had extra heads in there or not. If they did, they're probably going to aesthetically look different than this. So I'm going to need 3 of those. Granted, do I have them here? No, they're in the storage room. But the RSV kits, the P Bandai versions that came out, they're basically of all 3. Just want to make sure I get the number right. Solaris is the one that's a standard release. The other 3 and 4 are non-standard, and then you have the ability to take. They also include some extra parts to make Solaris into another one of the ones that's used in the series. So I think you see like 5 or 6 of them. I could use AI and some new tech stuff like water leak detectors and surge warning plugs. Most of that stuff is like common stuff today, right? For your job. Hey, Dwayne, good morning. Dwayne, I'll be over the next few days, I'll be texting with you and we'll try to figure out if something works for us. And hopefully it does. And if it doesn't, I totally get it. I know you said your wife's got a lot of stuff. My vacation plans obviously should, and your family plans, obviously, like I get it. Your family comes first always. But Joe, a lot of that technology I always thought was like pretty common. Yeah, it's either expensive to purchase them or they have a service to pay. Again, I think it depends on if talking about you need AI for that or you just need automation for that. Like water bugs they've been around forever. Just because it's common doesn't mean they like to buy it. Yeah, that is also quite true. I've got the number of people that I've dealt with who have, and it always comes down to what's the value, right, Nick? Oh, it costs that much. Yeah, I don't want to pay that much. The number of people I've met in my years, who are far wealthier than I will ever be, and the number of times they said, "Yeah, I don't want to buy that. It's just not worth it." It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Really? Really? When you do the math on some of this shit, it's like, dude, this is like you buying a cup of coffee, but you don't want it. Okay, fine, whatever. All right, gonna grind a little bit more. Hey guys, let me know if this gets a little too loud. I'm kind of curious as to where this kind of light lays. I'm putting it in the lowest setting. I don't need to like hyper speed this thing to death. Had to validate yesterday the purchase of an angle grinder for work. You had to validate the purchase. So hold it. I'm assuming, Joe, you were authorized to purchase it, and then they had to validate it. I don't get that. Crazy. Validate the purchase. Huh. Sorry, guys. Give me that moment here. Okay. There we go. Sorry, guys. That's what were the jobs it was to be used on. Sounds fine. Reminds me of the dentist. Hopefully it wasn't that bad. It does a little bit. God reminds me of the same thing. Did you tell hand file would work, but they don't want to pay for that much overtime? Yeah. That's another interesting one, right? You know, one of the conversations that we have quite often is, you know, if we do this now, it will cost a little bit more, but in the long run, it will cost less. Nah, I'm not interested. Oh, okay. I had a suggestion to them. I could use the hand file duct tape to the reciprocating saw. Oh my God. That wouldn't work. We can plan. We'll be completing the earring commission for my friend. And for tools, I am justifying buying a D-Space sander to speed up my sanding session. Well, you know, there is somebody here, i.e. Joe, who may have some thoughts on that D-Space sander. Joe, take it away. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, we always talk about, like, in our industry, we always talk about doing a pre-wire. And a pre-wire is, you know, when you're in new construction or heavy renovation, you're down to the studs, you know, you can run wires to whatever you want. So I'm going to run a wire to there, I'm going to run a wire to there, and what have you. Quite often we hear people saying, buy more 180 grit. Wow. Take it away, Joe. Is there some sander worth the buy? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely let Joe chime in on this because he's been talking very positively about this. I'd love to hear some details as well. Oh, yes. You got to have more details in that, Joe. So, you know, the pre-wire is always the most, you know, one of the unknown phases, but it's the most important phase. Because once those walls are closed up and isonine is in, trying to run wires later is going to suck. Well, everything is wireless. Nope, everything is not. And there is no plan for everything to be wireless. So, pre-wire, most important phase. Okay. Is it worth it buy the other one that spins like a drill? That's their little hand drill, right, Edwin? So I don't own that, Edwin, but I'm going to throw in some anecdotal information. I know a lot of people who like it because it's basically, it's like this, only it's a thinner product and everything like that, and it's great. I've heard great things about it. The only downside I've heard to it is, I know from one person in particular, it failed, and it failed very early. So that's one of those tools that I think is probably fairly common to find something else and a lot cheaper. I mean, the one thing about D-Spay is their stuff ain't cheap. It used to be, but it doesn't seem to be. At least a day or two, it was a pressure sensitive mode with light color to let you hard you press. Wow, that's kind of cool. Joe, you might be talking me into picking up one of those at some point. At least investigating it a little bit more. I have that one too. No usual tool, just got to buy the bits. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why something like this could end up being cheaper because this comes with bits. And I think the total price with everything, obviously no USB charging or anything like that, but it's like, I don't know, $25, $25 US. By the cheaper alternative. Yeah, I would investigate it, but keeping in mind, if the D-Spay costs twice as much and it lasted 4 times as long, it's kind of like we were just talking about with some tools, right? Then it's a value. If this thing craps out in, say, like a month, and you have to buy it again, now there's no value. I've had this for years. This is a recommendation by, I think it was Rushlam, Bill, back in the day. It was either Bill or Handren. I can't recall which one now. You're saying enough. You should have 2 of them. I know, you're probably right, Nick. It's smaller than that. Oh, yeah, it's much smaller. It's like a pen size thing. But, Joe, as you and I would probably agree, you go on AliExpress, you'll find something like that. And at significantly less cost, right? It's interesting. By the way, I'll throw this out. I know nothing about it, but the cutter that I have is the RP Tools cutter. It's European made. Not, again, I hate to put it this way, not that that matters, but they were one of the originators of that kind of cutter. You had the true, you had the Northwest Shoreline cutter, and then you had this one. Those are sort of the 2 that came out. D-Spay introduced theirs. A couple of other companies introduced one. There is actually one on AliExpress now by Liang, Liang, that looks very, very much like the RP Tools one, and it's like $48. Now, they don't talk about its construction. I don't know if it's made out of aluminum or plastic or some other material, but do you have the brand for the one you are using? Yeah, this is by a company called Tack Life. But Edwin, to be honest, this is a, let me see if I get the focus a little bit. Sorry. This is a rebrand. This is literally a badge that they've thrown on this thing, but I've seen these under different names as well. It's also very quiet in comparison to George. Yeah, absolutely. And Joe, you're bringing up excellent points. Like if it's like, oh shit, I don't want something that'll be that loud. It'll annoy my if you got a small house, if you've got people that are just sensitive to noise, fit in the hand is very important. Absolutely, Joe. All those are very, very valid points. So, it can't always be about cost. For me, this has been perfect in this application, but that sander that you're talking about certainly makes a lot of sense. Back when I was looking at this, I mean, your alternatives, at least locally, were things like getting a handheld Dremel, which is a little bit bigger and more expensive. So this at $25-$30 wasn't too bad. If you make a lot of phone calls with Nick, check that company Mio. Yeah, Mio's got some good stuff too. If you make a lot of phone calls with Nick. What? I don't know where. Hey, Ray, what's going on, brother? So let's get some coffee going. Sorry, guys, give me a second. we go. So I have a D-spray grinder, power sander, dust collector, basic set. Nice. You excited to drive for 7 hours? Am I excited? No. The good thing is, this is the good thing about this trip rather than the last one. My daughter, who's driving down with us, is able to drive. So maybe on some of those long stretches, I won't have to. So between the three of us, I don't think it's going to be so bad. I'll probably be the lucky bastard who has to go through New York, but it is what it is. So I got music ready to go. I'm excited about that. Got a lot of new music I recently got, so a lot of music to listen to, either on the drive down or while we're there. Last night it was what was that dust collector? Take a nap in the back. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I just sanded because I'm tired of having to sand all the filament 3D printed things. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how well that does for, fine detail. And I'm guessing that's one of the benefits of this tool. Again, I've never done any research on it, but I'll have to look into it. Getting closer. Depends on how much you will buy. But a handheld belt sander. If you're talking about production, good morning. What a shame it's raining outside. I guess I'll have to be at the bench. What a shame, Mike. Awful. Sorry to hear it, my friend. May it all clear up so you can go outside and work on stuff you don't want to work on. Hey, good morning, Mike. How are you? Hope you're having a fantastic day, brother. And hope you had a nice vacation. Drill type for the resin printed kits. Yeah. I'm doing it mostly for one-off production run. We're doing go to the Air Museum today. Score tickets for an interior tour of the X-Cambion. Ooh, nice. Scored tickets. Does that mean you got them for free, or does that mean you had to pay for them? It's okay. I have to be right up on it, but I got one. First came out as cheap as hell, but customs opened everything. Yeah. There seem to be a lot of those kinds of products too. Those dust extractors, Nick, on AliExpress. I hate, and again, guys, please understand. I'm not. AliExpress is a great place to find a lot of hobby tools that we don't readily see here. I don't know if I've ever bought. I take it back. I bought one D-Spay product from them because it was at a time when D-Spay didn't have a lot of presence here. I got the scale ruler years ago. Other than that, everything else D-Spay has been bought from a local place. I will say their sanding sponges are the biggest pieces of shit on the planet. They're awful. Literally, a sandpaper glued onto a sponge, and it falls apart no time flat. It's awful stuff. Pay for them, but an aircraft, they don't normally let people in the big transatlantic flying boat in the civilian hangar. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, man. Ray, have fun. I'm assuming you're taking Katie with you on that one? I did. Thanks, Olivia, and I had an awesome day together on Thursday. Finished the day off having dinner with Jared. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Oh, Mike. I love it, Mike. Hey, how's Maverick doing, by the way? And how old is he, dare I ask? This is how you know you start getting old, right? It's like when Nick talks about, his kids and their ages, and it's like, shit. Sorry, guys, give me a second here. He's awesome. He'll be 2 in September. 2. Shit. Time. What is an illusion? Well, it is and it isn't. It is what it is. Oh, good for you, Ray. I'm sure she'll appreciate being in the car anyway. Nice. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. Ew, plane. I'll stay here. Yeah, I had 0 kids when I started hanging out here. I know. Crazy. And hold it a second. So, and when I started this, shit, when was my, this is 25, 24, 20. My older daughter was in high school, and now she's, graduated from college and employed. And my younger one was in elementary school, and now she's just graduated high school. Fuck. Bang. She wanted pepperoni, but all they had was plain. Nice, funny. 5 years. 5 glorious years. And they've been glorious. I've actually been thinking a lot about the people who've come and gone on the show itself. And, the people who've been here since nearly the beginning, like guys like Joe, who I think has been here since the beginning. Nick probably wasn't very far behind. And then finding out guys like Ray and Ken are locals. It's like, what the fuck? Somehow they discover the show, and then we discover, holy shit, they're locals. It's crazy. Normally in the morning, I listen to a number of YouTube channels, information. I don't like to call them news. I listen to a lot of Democratic leaning stuff. But this morning, last couple of days, I've actually been more interested in just listening. Again, just kind of goes, in phases. I've been listening to a lot of music. This morning, I was listening to everything from Toots and the Maytals to Corner Shop, Brimful of Asha. What a great song. God, that song is fabulous. I think I was kind of influenced to kind of get music going last night after, obviously we got a long road trip and want to listen to stuff, whether on the road or when we're down there. It's like, you just gotta kind of be your own world a little bit, right? And I think some of it came up with the last couple of days. I've been thinking about the movie Valley Girl, and I kind of started watching a little bit of it last night. I love that film. I love that film. Dated, but pretty freaking awesome. And what, given the time and the subject matter, what Martha Coolidge was able to do with it was pretty impressive. That film cost $350,000 to make. And what was it? I was reading an article on it afterward. That same year was when Risky Business was done, and Risky Business had a $6.3 million budget. So in terms of just your ratio to dollars made, Risky Business obviously did extremely well, but Valley Girl crushed it. Dex, Becca, Tara, Lucas. Yeah, Lucas is still kind of kicking on. Becca, yeah, she had a lot of stuff going on. Miss Tara a lot, you know. Cheese Sticks Eddie, yeah. Fortunately, he didn't participate here. I don't believe, but yeah, that was a kind of an interesting blow, right? Hopefully, my new inline fan will be here today. Got a higher CFM with adjustable output for the airbrush booth. Nice. What size fan is it, Ray? It's Valley Girl, the one with Nicolas Cage, was a whale tail shave. He had a triangle shaved in his chest. Yes, that's the one. That's his first role. And when he auditioned for the role, because of his who he is, what family he's from, he's like, yeah, don't let people know, please. I'm trying to make it on my own. So I respect. Had Deborah Foreman in it, man. I had the major hots for her back in the day. Whew. And she's great in that role. Just absolutely fantastic. It's cool to see a movie where you get, analog credit card swipes, there was like next to no technology, right? Everything that these kids did was purely analog. You wanted to call, you called from a cordless phone, all of that stuff. Really? Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Tell her to stop on by. Love to see Tara again. Again, I know she's got a lot going on. Look, one of the things about the live stream is, we're all a bunch of losers because we seem to just kind of make time for something like this, all of us, right? And other people have lives and they go do their live thing, but not us. We spend time in the morning hanging out with a crusty old bastard. And I love it, each and every one of you who do it. She doesn't. No, she doesn't. I hope she's got something going on. Make time. It's 5 a.m. here. Nothing is happiness but this. Nothing is happiness? Oh, I hope that's not true, Nick. Make sure you use the light reflection as a flashlight. I haven't had to use a light in the morning for 6 years. That's funny as fuck. Hey, Tom. Good morning. What's going on, man? Nothing is happening. Nothing. I like nothing is happiness but this. That's better. I'm gonna stick with that one. I'm gonna delete your happening comment, your happening correction. The meme warring for she is winning. Oh, really? Nice. All right. So one side is pretty darn close to being done. And it's not like this side is going to be, the underside's not going to be seen. So that's what we got. We basically got all that area filled in, and now I'm just doing cleanup work on it. There we go. Just doing cleanup work on the underside. Let's start with this too, because I'm just planing away some of the some putty. What's interesting about this putty is, again, one of the fears you have when you're using, putty that you froze, kind of bringing it back to life, is whether or not its properties have changed. Is it still um, malleable enough to be able to sculpt without cracking? And I can attest that this has been pretty good. You want to detail so Zaku hair look like it belonged to the Zabi family? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. That's why I'm doing three of them. I want to do one for Dozel, Giran, and what's her name? Casilia. All right. 3-minute warning, and then I'm going to need to get going. Dark green and gold leaf on it. Yeah. Gold leaf? No. Dark green? Yes. I'm not going to go too nutty on some of it, because a lot of it's also going to get battle damage, so I don't need to overthink some of it. Will there be some kind of like flares for each one? Yeah. So it's not going to be. I don't want to go too hardcore on it. The point is just to give. Remember, it's to give the story. Got to have the gold leaf. Oh, do you now? Oh, you do you? Oh, glad to hear it. I'll let you work on the gold leaf. Me, I might just kind of paint hints of gold on there and get them all smashed up. Dozel Zak wanted that one. Yeah. Gotta have the gold leaf. If you leave awfully late for going through NYC, maybe your bridge adventure be less than exciting, and hopefully you go upper level, get the view. Yeah, I try to go upper level where possible. Our plan is to stop, get some shit done. We're gonna stop somewhere to eat, do the usual stuff. Have to drive through Jersey. Over the last year, I've done that trip so often because we were looking at schools down in Philadelphia. If we're leaving late, so be it. All right. We are not done, but we're pretty darn close to getting this thing on that plane that I need. Again, I think what's important to remember is it doesn't have to be perfect because a lot of this is not going to be seen. So as long as it gets close enough to where I need it to be, grand. But what we'll do is get some wires and pipes coming up underneath there just to give it a little bit more of a mechanical look, like it got torn off. So I do need to find some pipes for the side here too. Is it up to $16 for the bridge now? The rich part of Jersey is right after the bridge. Classic diner is nice. Nice. Thank you. Keeping that in mind. I don't know, Ray. I don't remember. You're talking about the Verrazano. I have no idea. Last I thought the Verrazano was like $22, but I could be wrong. Oh, you talking about the GW? Yeah, I don't recall. Let's put it this way. Tolls down are like total of $32. It's like some obscene amount. So sending over the P35. Yes. When? Don't know. Sometime. I got stuff I got to start boxing up and shipping out to others in just a little while. So yours will be part of that too, Tom. Nick, later for you too, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yay. Tom, contain the enthusiasm. Yay. All right, guys. Stay safe and stay sane. Joe, have a good one, brother. Looking for an old Warhammer 40 Orc Combat Patrol. Did not find one. Seems like I have to buy one by one. Did they have them available as a kit and they're not available like that now, Edwin? Interesting. All right, guys, go out there, do good, and brighten the world as much as you possibly can. Short session today, obviously, because I'm getting ready to head on out. Peter, yeah, I'm about to head on out. I've got to start pack. We've got everything packed up, got the car packed up. Anyway, Peter, hey, good to see you, brother. Hopefully we'll catch up soon. I'll be back doing the live stream on vacation, barring any issues. It should be done every day. Tomorrow will be the test as to see how I'm going to be doing it, whether I'm going to be doing it from a laptop with my camera or if I'm going to be doing it on a phone. Hopefully the phone works. We're not sure yet. Anyway, guys, do good. Enjoy the day, but brighten the world as much as you can. Shitty stuff going on. It's up to us to individually try to make it better. With that, I'll be back on hopefully tomorrow. Enjoy, do good. Love you all, and peace.